Happy Tuesday, guys. This is your girl Z of ZEEspeaks coming to you this week with the word of the week. The word of the week this week is integrity. I want you guys to, first of all, forgive the the nasal thing that's going on. I am overcoming a head cold, and it just is what it is. The summertime and all the things that are blowing in, but your girl's gonna be okay. No big deal. I want you guys to bear with me just for a minute. I have something that I want to read to you. It's called Note to Self. You can't control how other people receive your energy. Anything you say or do gets filtered through the lens of whatever personal stuff they're going through at the moment. That's not about you. Just keep doing your thing with as much integrity and love as possible. Now, I ran across that, and I tell you guys all the time that it's not just me coming before you every Tuesday. I come here with the idea and the thought of doing things, two things. One, to give you some idea or maybe a word of encouragement or some type of motivation or inspiration for you to become a better version of yourself, and whatever that may look like to you. And also to be able to bring the community into the studio and bring the studio out into the community so that we can merge those two together and make each other better. There are all kinds of things, all kinds of programs, all kinds of nonprofits that are out there that we know absolutely nothing about because there's no one telling us about it. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to be the voice of all things community, but I'm going to certainly do my best to get as much information from outside to inside and take the inside to outside. And that some of these events and things that are going on in our beautiful city and our state, and maybe even from my mouth to God's ears, the country and world at large. So, with that being said, thank you again to all of you who find some type of joy and appreciate you right now. I got to take that time to appreciate you for coming on every Tuesday. Like, follow, and share. And if you ever want to go back and see any of the previously recorded Z Speaks from previous Tuesdays, go ahead and just scroll down the page and take a look. And if you want to share them, you can do that as well. But hit that subscribe button, that follow button, just so that whenever I do go live, whether it's in the studio or not, you'll be the first to see what these got going on. So with that being said, let's get into it. Again, I want to thank you guys for joining us today. The word of the week is integrity. Integrity means a lot to me. It's one of those words, everybody's got a few words that are in their wheelhouse. Integrity is one that is huge for me because it's a part of your character. And it is a word that if someone understands who you are and they can speak on your integrity, they will speak for you in a manner that is good without you even in the room. However you carry yourself, people can't help but speak that way about you. But there are occasions when people won't. And it's because of however you carry yourself. A lot of times, if you have integrity, and you know when you do and when you don't, you can't have integrity and then be on the outside looking in and girl, she get on my nerves. Oh, girl, she thinks she this and that. And ooh, child, she thinks she this and that. And she all that. That's not integrity. Actually, that's childish, but that's a whole other story. But doing that type of thing and speaking against somebody who's not done anything to hurt you or done anything to hurt anybody around you shows that your character is in a very small, immature state. Being able to know that those people are doing that talking and whispering, because whispers aren't as loud as you think they are, guys. Being able to know that people are doing that and still walk with your head up high, even when you're in the same room with them, and still move around in some of the same spaces with them without showing any type of anger or showing any type of emotion in a negative way towards them, that's integrity. How you hold your strength in the face of adversity is integrity. That is a strength that is learned over time. Going through and growing through things put you in a position to where you become more and more stronger in who you are as a person. When you hear people say, I stand 10 toes down, I stand 10 toes flat, that means to me that you stand on your integrity. You stand on your character. There's nothing about me that I don't love, even my flaws, because I love me. So there's nothing that anyone out there in TV land, in Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, www land can say about Sandra that I don't even know about myself. Because even when you go to therapy, all the therapist is doing is unlocking things in you that you know that you either suppressed or you found other ways to move away from so that you don't have to deal with them. But they really are a part of you. So getting to know who I am and I've had plenty of opportunities to do that because I looked at the mistakes that I made and then I also looked at the beauty in my life and I merged the two of them together because they all are a part of me. So I can't look at someone else and say with, oh my God, with any ease out of my mouth that that person is terrible. I can't say it because at some point I might be. But what I can say that the treatment of someone else is terrible because it's wrong. It is. If you're doing something to hurt someone, you should stop it right now. If you're saying things behind somebody's back and they're right in the neighborhood or where you can call them or you can inbox them and you have something that you need to say to them, pick up the phone, reach out, say what you have to say. Because a lot of times things are being misunderstood and people just let it slide. And I used to have an issue with that. I used to have an issue with understanding why people allow things to go on for months and months and months and months and months that cause them angst on any level. Me, I want to deal with it right off the muscle. Now, if I don't know that I've done something to you, it may linger because I just don't know. But if you really feel like there's something that I've done to you that wronged you, you should say something to me because if anybody on this line that knows me and knows me well knows that I will confront any elephant in the room because honestly, I have too much joy in my life to let a misunderstanding or some type of whatever that is not bigger than the joy that I have in my life disturb the joy in my life. There's nothing that is going to take me out of this person that I'm so happy about being. I'm happy with Sandra. The good, the bad, and the indifferent. So there's nothing that you can bring to me that's going to disturb me enough to where I'm going to let it disturb my life. So I would say to you, I would implore you, please, if you got something going on with someone else, build your own character by facing it head on. Because anything that you grow through builds your character. And it also helps you to understand your integrity. See, integrity means this to me, that if you know that someone did something wrong, and you know that it hurt somebody else, and I'm talking about in any aspect of your life. Let's just take something like if you have a person who sells, let's say, cosmetics, and you know that they sell cosmetics, but they're kind of skimping on whatever they put in the cosmetics, and that could really hurt some people. It can harm some people, and you know that can harm some people. Are you going to just let it just go because you got a stake in this company and you're going to make money off of it? Or are you going to let them know, hey, we may not want to do this because this could cause us a lot of damage on the back end. We may want to just make sure instead of cutting corners, we do what we're supposed to do on the front end so the back end will just be easy for us. That's integrity. Integrity means sometimes doing things that you may not want to do, but your body, your gut, that spirit, let me tell you something about that spirit. That spirit that you feel in your gut. You know, sometimes when you say, oh, ooh, I felt that, I knew that, something told me to, or that's something, or that what you felt is the spirit. And if you have any connection with yourself, your inner self I'm talking about, and I'm talking about on the spiritual level, if you have any connection like that, then you're absolutely going to know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then you need to get to know who you are spiritually so that you can feel those things. And you can feel when people are talking about you. You know when you walk in a room and people are talking about you and they get quiet? That intuition is real. You need to own that. And you can easily walk up to a person and say, is it something that you guys want to talk to me about? And that's a calm way of saying that. Because if you don't do that and you let all day go by, then your mind is just going to start working. That's the enemy. You give him room to come in because you can handle it head on. See, integrity will allow you to have the strength that you need to handle certain situations head on. Because trust and believe, When people get used to you checking them when they don't think you're going to, they won't give you a reason to check them anymore. I can promise you that. Because you teach people how to treat you. If people are still doing the same stuff to you that they were doing to you last year, guess what? That's your fault. Especially if you know it. I hear people talk about this all the time. Oh, I'm not going. I ain't see meetings. Y'all know y'all post these meetings. Oh, if they didn't do nothing to me, don't be getting me to be mad at them because they did something to you and they didn't do nothing to me. Well, I look at it like this, y'all. If my friend is getting hugged behind what by a dude, let me just say it like I want to say it. If my friend over here is getting her ass whooped by a dude, you mean to tell me that I'm supposed to be grinning and skinning in his face at his birthday party 2 weeks after I just visited her in the hospital? Use a damn lie, because I don't get down like that. I'm not going to be in his face. I'm not saying that you got to be ugly towards him, but fix the meaning to say that. Don't fix the meaning to say that I'm not going to be mad at him. You should be. He hit a woman. So if you're going to say that, you need to be specific about what you're talking about. Because if you're a friend of mine and I see that, then all I do is think about the times when I went through hell and I saw people getting on the bandwagon, showing no integrity whatsoever from a man who was not only hurting me, but hurting my children. So trust me, there's a lot of people out there that I move differently around because of your integrity. People always answer, we all go through things. You just need to get over it. You can't tell somebody when to get over something that they went through and you didn't. You can't do that. You can offer them a word of encouragement, though. You can say to them, I'm going to pray for you if you don't have anything else to say. But don't ever say that you're going to side with the other person that hurt them and expect them to stay in your life. Because I will exit stage left in a minute for somebody who takes on a person who's able to abuse me and abuse my children one way or another. I don't care what level it is. If I felt like it was abuse, my children felt like it was abuse, it was abuse. I'm going to tell y'all that book that we just put out, that book is full of integrity. It's full of people speaking on their pain. It's full of people speaking on when they were a victim and how they got victory out of that being a victim. Because people that are victims, they don't stay victims. They become victorious. And the reason why they do that and how they're able to do that is because they walk through their pain and they walk through it with love. And when you walk through pain with love, then your integrity starts to show. Because I don't hate anybody that wronged me. I do not. Hate is a very strong word. I don't hate anybody that wronged me. I look at people for who they are. I understand that everybody who hurts people come from a place of hurt and they need to be healed. And you can't speak on healing someone else if you have not healed yourself first. I am able to love people that hurt me. And I had somebody say to me the other day, why do you want to love people that hurt you? Or why do you want to make a friend out of people that hurt you? I don't want to make them my friend. I just want them to understand that they can be a friend to somebody, maybe not to me. But if I can forgive you and you hurt me, then maybe you can take that and you can stop hurting other people. That's what that's about. That is not about me being a fool or about me taking my life's lessons and throwing them to the wind and going back to people who helped me to learn those lessons. No, I want to show them that I thank you for what you showed me in this life. Now just go be better. Now what they do with that, that's on them, but I've done my part. Because see, I don't live for these people that are walking around on two legs or the creatures that are walking around on four or the ones that are slithering around on the ground. I live for him. I know where I belong, who I belong to, and I know that that's where my joy comes from. My strength comes from God, not people, not people. So if you walk through this life with integrity, what people say, what they do, it stops hurting as much as it did before you understand who you really are. Because when you realize how good you really are, and that's what having integrity is, you're good. I'm not saying you're perfect. That's the difference. Because Xandra does not ever say that Xandra is perfect. Am I working towards perfection? Yes, that's because I'm working towards getting to the kingdom. That's my job. That's how I'm working towards perfection. But in the midst of that, I'm going to do everything that I can, and I'm going to be good to the people that are good to me. Now, what does that mean? Let me break it down to you. If you come for me, if you are bold enough, and you have the strength enough to come and stand in my face and say something to me that is hurtful and spiteful, then there may be a situation where we may go toe to toe. I'm going to tell you, I'm not there yet. I'm still a work in progress. But if you come to me with some sense of kindness, there's that word again, kind, and some integrity, when I know that it's coming from your heart and not from your head or not from what somebody said in your ear, and not from what you read or not from what somebody told you or what you believe, but you come to me person to person, I'm going to respect you off the muscle, and we can sit down and we can have a conversation about it, because conversation rules the nation. I have the gift of gab, and that gift came from God, and I can talk to you about anything, but I'm not going to yell with you. I may 1 or 2 times, but I don't have a desire to keep yelling with anybody, because my grandmother, my mother, and my dad said something to me, and I will take that to my grave and I stand on it. If you are standing up arguing with a fool, people don't know who the fool is anymore. And one thing I'm not going to ever be is a fool. So I stand on my integrity with everything that I do. I stand on my integrity with this podcast. I stand on my integrity in the relationships that I build. And building relationships is so important, y'all. Not building the relationship so that you can hang on to somebody's coattail and drag yourself along with them so that you can gain their light. I'm talking about bringing your light to the table so you can add to theirs. Listen to me when I tell you. When you get involved with people who are already doing the things that you want to do, those people become your mentors. You don't become baggage to them. You bring your light to the table. And if they saw something in you before you really could manifest that in yourself, then that means that they saw the light before you saw it. You may know, like I felt that there was something that I had to give. But Archie J. Jenkins saw it, and he was the one that said to me, you got something, and you need to do something with it. And he is taking me along side by side, teaching me every step of the way the things that he does. But he also encourages me to build on what I already bring to the table. You have no idea the conversations that me and this young man have that happen after we do an event together, or that happen when we show up for each other, or that happen when we just pray with each other and pray about the situations that we're going to be involved in, or things that he gets me involved in that in and of myself, or ideas that I bring to the table. These are the types of relationships that you continue to build, because it's not one-sided, y'all. You don't allow people to just take your light and run off with it and do whatever it is that they want to do with it. And the people that do that, those are people that want to take advantage of you and take you for granted. Those people have no integrity. Get away from them as quickly as you possibly can. You know your gut feeling. You know when somebody's taking advantage of you. Don't allow it. I got to take a sip of water because that little squealing horse is coming and it's not cute. Excuse me. Thank you for your patience. But I get excited and I get emotional when I talk about things that really come from my heart. Don't allow people to use you, and don't allow people to step on you. But bring your light to places where it can be appreciated and celebrated and not just tolerated. That's my time, y'all. I tell you, I bring this to you every week. Some word of the week, some phrase, some conversation, someone sitting in the studio with me. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to continue to do it until I can't do it anymore. I'm going to bring this to different avenues and bring it to different platforms when that time allows. But for right now, thank you for joining in and tuning in here on Facebook, on ZEEspeaks, and on my Zandra McCardell page. I appreciate you. And I want you to remember this, as I say every time at the end of each and every single broadcast. You are meant to fly because you deserve to be the best version of yourself. Peace. I'm out. Until next week.